Hello Zetans, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so it's flowing through so fast. Hold on to your bootstraps, because I'm taking you on a ride. All right, now, after making the chariot video yesterday, thank you for your resounding bells and whistles and support. Love you guys. I was given another card from the Major Arcana, which in that moment made perfect sense, so slept on it. And then this morning, and I'll talk you into that in a minute, this morning I was re-watching the first Zeta video. And I stopped again on those 3 words that came in because I researched those 3 words and got nothing. And those 3 words were, when I said revisiting ancient elements, it's nothing to do with the elements that we know, the pentagram, earth, air, fire, water, ether, just wasn't resonating. So with this card job in the back of my mind and my research on ancient elements producing nothing, I turned to numerology and kapow, it's all come pouring out. Right, let's start with this. So basically this is what it looks like. Okay. Right, so this is Pythagorean numerology. Look at these numbers. 15-6, 15-6, 15-6, 15-6, 15-6. Okay, so the vowels represent the urge of soul. The consonants represent the personality, the part that is shown to the world. And when you add those guys together, you get the OSE, which is the overall soul expression. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So when you add all of those numbers together, you get 120, 39, 12, 3. Okay, got that so far? Twelve 3 is governance. Let me read through my notes. Okay. Right, I'll hold this up so you can follow. So this is the number of the initiate coming in on ray 2, the love wisdom ray. Okay, so the 1 is initiation, coming straight through that 39, which is the expansion. Okay, so we've got Jupiter in the 1st house of Aries, all right? Expansion. The 9 is where the ego dissolves into wisdom and the lesson is integrated, or it's a stubborn refusal to let go of an old belief. Okay, so when we've dissolved the ego and taken the learning and turned it into wisdom, then we rise to the next chapter or move on to the next module. 12-3, new governance. This is perfect governance. It is the initiation of the blueprint, 12-3. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is literally the light council. All right. So all these changes are happening. The world, all of us are literally, well, I described it this morning as we're staring at ourselves reflected back at the galactic center. What we do with that is absolutely up to us. Okay. Now let's go to this 15-6, to all of these 15-6s. Okay. Because the card I've been asked to speak to you about is card number 15. Is the devil. Now, I've drawn a diagram of the 15-6 because this is how I see it. How you see it might be different, but I like things super simple. And so it hinges on the 5. And for me, I see 5 like this. So 5 wants to bring, just move those notes out of the way. So 5 wants to bring the higher mind in. So I see it like a seesaw. So we've got 2s at the extremity and the 1 wanting to bring the higher mind into the blueprint. Okay, so the 5 looks backwards and forwards, and the higher mind will pull the best from both and drop it into the 6 of the 15-6, so into the chalice, into the heart. And the 15-6 is lovingly known as the saint or sinner number. If I show you the traditional image of the devil and how these people believe that they are trapped, they are chained to a master. Okay, it's Capricornian master. But they're not. Look, if you look at these chains, these chains can actually slip straight over their head. So it is a belief of being trapped. Yesterday I was talking about the 10 Commandments. We're talking about Capricornian structures here. And Capricorn is the goat. It doesn't get any earthier than that. That is the light trapped in matter. Right? Now, we can continue to believe that we're trapped or not. Let's finish off these numbers because I have no idea where this reading is going to go today. Okay, so 15-6 is the higher mind coming into the ego body. So the question is, do we get out of the way and allow that initiation to happen? This is bring me a higher love, it's that. Now, when the heart cracks open, it feels some kind of way and it could throw us into fear or resistance, where it becomes, I'm seeing this an awful lot actually in the system, becomes really easy to go back to the comfortable. So if comfortable is, I don't know, an old habit that you used to do, name it, usual suspects, I'm not shaming anything. It can be in that moment of that 15-6, making that choice to either point the mind in another direction or to keep going back to the old thing. It is devil energy. Okay. Or do we get out of the way and just allow the rise, the expansion, the transcendence, the graduation, if you like? Or do we try to control it? So my original note, look at how scruffy this is, my original notes, which I did early this morning. So I took a photo of those and airdropped it to my Mac so I could lift the image, put it in here, and it arrived. And the image number is 4551, which equals 15-6. The devil is in the house. The devil is in the detail. Okay. Right, let's see what we make of all of this, because I've rushed you through that. Now, when you imagine so the chariot is number 7, and the devil is number 15. And the Chariot was giving us all sorts of choices yesterday of, do we allow our Chariot to be pulled in a certain direction, or do we, with focused intention, defy everything that wants to control us and point that Chariot in the direction of higher love? You give it your own words, because he's tempting. As the personification of temptation, it's your decision. Okay, so as I might be building a little tradition here, so I've got the same 5 decks out. Light Seers Tarot is the name I couldn't think of yesterday. So Light Seers Tarot. Just notice what happens in you. Notice where your mind goes, what you feel. Just notice. And perhaps if you have a long-term vision and this turns up, it could be a lovely distraction, but it might pull your Chariot, of course. We're building legacy now. Rider-Waite. So I'm going to show you the deck. This is one of my training decks. Sarah Bartlett. Remember, I was talking about Excalibur. Look at this. This is initiatic light trapped in matter. It's amazing. There's quite a lot in that card. This might be the dopiest looking goat I've ever seen, or ram. Look at his face. And I see this choice here as the freedom to move around, or the entanglement, being entangled in other people's stories. This is karmic, free from karma, and this is what's happening now. Is there is a gigantic karmic wipe going on. I make my own karma. Distracted thought. And this is from the Gaia deck. And in the Gaia deck, it's union. Now, beautiful. So this is about bringing, it's almost like bringing together the opposites. So it's bringing those twos together. That's interesting. Did you see that? That's card number 13, which is death. Now that's interesting. I'm going to leave that out because I trust all mistakes that happen. Right, we want 15. Lovely. So I get the word cornucopia with this. Does she take only what she needs? Or does she sweat the whole lot? So it's talking into a different set of values. But this is what's coming in. This is ancient, ancient magic. Ancient, ancient elements. It's big energy. Makes me want to roar. The dragons growl. Pause. So we're kind of in the same theme as the Chariot, which is about choices, balance, integrity, and focused intention. Because if your mind isn't on the prize and that walks across your path, distraction's easy. And 4, 6, 10, 16, 7. On the 4th of June, we have Saturn going retrograde in Aquarius, I believe. And so Saturn is kind of the business manager. And Saturn helps Saturn helps in right action. I'm not talking about human subjective right or wrong. I'm talking about right action from your sword, from your truth, from your integrity, from your light. Saturn gets a bad rap. And okay, bear with me. So these new energies that are coming through can be harmful in the hands of toddlers. Okay. Bear with me. Bear with me. This word popped into my head this morning. War. If you flip it, it spells raw. Raw state. Okay. And what I got with that was raw state software before it is made specific to a company's brand, before it is overwritten, changed, like the difference between a raw crystal and a polished crystal. So it's almost like a going back, way back. going way back, way back to raw state. I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going to pull some cards. 15-6 is really in the house, and I'm interested because today's date, 25/7/30, sorry, well, it's the 20th. 13/4, isn't it? Feminine. Wow, it's birthing. Bear with me. Some videos I'll have done all the prep for, and some I'll just launch in. This is a just launch in. 25th, let's go. 25, 7, magic, 6 is 31, 13/4, 31, 13/4. That's the mirror. Wow. It's the mirror. I might just, if I were you, sit down today. Even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes, just sit down and disappear into the blackness. Just disappear into the darkness of yourself with no expectation, just to connect. Just to connect. All right, lead me to a deck here. I'm going to go Black Moon Astrology. And we're going to focus on devil energy, 15-6, the swing, the seesaw, the choice, the temptation. Oh, you really do want to come out. The possibility. And all of this is happening during Mercury retrograde in Gemini. I think Mercury's in Taurus today. Mercury retrograde in Gemini. It's balancing that decision in the devil. Let's see what's come out. Right. So we're not on the 369. Ignore me. If I were you, I would sit and just tune in with no expectation today. Third eye, bringing the light straight in. That's it. Tune in. Just tune in. We will be in eclipse energy for about 6 months. These sevens coming through. Just got a really clear vision of a train platform and the train guard or whatever they're called shouting, "All change. It's time to change trains." So Sagittarius is asking, what have you learned? Sagittarius is asking, it's kind of seeing you off on the platform saying, what did you learn? What are you taking with you? And what if you had to drop one of those 4 bags? What are you now pointing your arrow towards? Wow, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. Because remember, Sag sits at the galactic center. Ooh, wow. That is like a gateway. That is like a gateway. Sag occupies 9th house as well. It's the dissolving of the ego, rising of philosophy, the right use of wisdom in the world, philosophy and science and expansion. This is beautiful. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, all right. New soul journey, for sure. And this has been in the field for about 8 months now. And the last 2 or 3 months have literally been, well, there's a card in one of my shaman decks, which is new soul contracts. It's just a blank contract. And do you remember I said yesterday, I write my own karma? Well, I write my own contract. And so must we all, you know, otherwise we're in the Capricornian structure and there's no shame on that, but it's a choice. It is a choice. All right, here we go. There's a choice here. So my obvious mind can go straight to that 26-8, Great Lord Karma. And it can look at the imagery and it can go, that's Scorpio, 8th house, shared resource. And what do you truly own? Okay. And what do you truly own? Or I can put those two together and I can go, it's time to own your own soul. Yes. It's got this little, it's not little, it's, ooh, tread carefully, Chrissy. The owning of the soul. Revisiting ancient elements, the owning of the soul. I think it's time to rewrite the house system. I think it's time to rewrite the astrology archetypes. This is a part of me that wonders whether they're all designed around Capricornian structure. I'll get right on that. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Okay. Let's bring this guy in. Okay. So we're in Scorpio eclipse energy, the clearing out of the 8th house of karma, shared resource, what we owe the banks, where we allow others to define who we are. So consumerism, education, government, religion. 4 pillars, and I'm sure there's another one. Stick it in the comments box. Okay, that's the Capricornian structure. Now, which might have given you just enough to look wealthy in the world, successful in the world. I love doing over-exaggerated air quotes. So what this is going to challenge in us is the job, the car, the clothes, the lifestyle, all make me look good in the world. Well, do they? Because that structure's coming down. So where does that leave you? And if you think about the energy that props the banks up, the banks are propped up. Big corp, propped up. And we're back on the train station platform, and what are you willing to let go of? To take ownership of your own soul. Jesus, these messages are powerful. My throat chakra's doing some weird dances and flips and somersaults. Taking ownership of your own soul. Defiance of the highest order. But we're Ophiuchus. Hey, that's as defiant as it gets. As the cosmic healer, it will not be stopped. Does not respect authority. It's not ruled by any planet or element. I have no idea what this channel is going to be, but it's getting big. Yeah, devil, it's getting big, and I'm too small. Fuck that. I've birthed this channel, so I have to learn to dance with it. This is Zeta. This is Zeta Ophiuchi, one of the fastest moving stars in the sky, surrounded by a cloud of dust. She's like an undercover agent. But seriously, I strongly believe that what we're now getting access to, we haven't had access to before, let's say that. Moving out of stagnation. Mars and Jupiter, now in Aries. When does Mars go into Aries? I said it yesterday, I've forgotten it. Powers of retention, what is a warthog's backside? And Venus is going to move out of Aries and move on her journey. Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation, coming in on that 15-6, and what will you choose? I'm not sure you'll have a choice. Because when you're picked up by your passion and shaken, nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you. We have the Chaos card. That Chaos card came out 3 times in a week, 44. Wow. I make my own karma. The courage to step into life, singing your song on your terms in your own way. Look at all this wisdom. This is Uranus, the galactic center, the removal of all the dust, learning to fly in strong winds. Wow. Just a little bit of dragon tail coming through there. What else? Is there anything else we need to know? Right, yeah. I'm going to wrap this up. I don't think it needs to be a lengthy video today. Although I have no idea how long I've been on. It doesn't need to be a lengthy video. the same old things that keep coming out. Oh. Stubbornness might be resistance to let go. You know, and in this time of chaos, it won't look pretty. It's going to look messy. It's going to look like broken relationships, divorce, lost homes, lost businesses. And it's also going to look like explosive new creations and beginnings. Just depends where the mind is. It depends. Because the Capricornian wealth is not called trappings for nothing. I was talking the other day about what do you do? Average, mundane conversation. Hi, what's your name? Where do you come from? What do you do for a living? And they all help the subconscious to pigeonhole people. And who are we without our labels? And who are we without the job title? The car, the clothes, the persona. What happens if we tear down the edifice of our own creation? It's all illusion. The personality only wants you to see what it's willing to show you. It can stubbornly resist. I speak to every shy magi out there. It can stubbornly resist bringing magic into the mundane world. Because of this. When you take ownership of your own soul, nothing else is needed. Are you aware of any stubbornness in you? Write it down. Yes, it looks like this, and this, and this. Write it down, shamelessly. No shame, no judgment. Just write it down so you can see it. Do you people please? I think I do. In what situations do you people please? And what in those situations makes you feel threatened? Less than, not worthy. I'm going to end the reading with this, because when this grabs you by the short and curlies and shakes you, there'll be no stopping you. What do you feel passionately about? And go back to your childhood with this. What was that thing you always went back to? What was the toy you always went back to? Or the passion that you always went back to? Get out of your head. It's become a thinking society. And feel the fire in your belly. And if you can't, then place a hand on the belly and just make that mind-soma connection. And tune in and commune. Because you own it. If you don't feel you own your body, have a look at that. All right? Surrender to passion. Let go of people-pleasing and stubbornness. Thank you, Devil. That has been a slightly weird reading. It didn't feel cohesive, and that's fine. There's no right or wrong. I'm just noticing it's different. But some great messages there. This really is, we're in colossal change. It's about keeping that arrow right on target, straight. But I don't know what I want. You don't have to know what you want. Surrender to passion. You'll figure it out. That's it. Okay, my little dust devils. Thank you for being here. Welcome all new subs. And I'm going to leave you with my love and wish you a beautiful weekend, or a weekend that fits you perfectly. And I don't know if I'll be around this weekend. Let's see what is required of me. But I will see you all again soon. Lots of love. Take care. See you soon. Bye.